Uhorobo'S Ijaws And Uhorobo'S threat to rule of law and democracy in Warri Federal Constituency of Delta State. Statement issued by Ijaws And Uhorobo'S protesters on Monday, the 1st day of June 2026, to alert the Nigerian and international community on threat to the rule of law and democracy as a result of INEC's delay in the implementation of its final report on the Supreme Court ordered fresh delineation of Warri Federal Constituency of Delta State. Gentlemen, you will recall that on the 20th day of May 2026, INEC released its final report of the Supreme Court ordered fresh delineation of Warri Federal Constituency of Delta State to stakeholders in Asaba. At that presentation of the final report, INEC National Commissioner Alhaji Abdul Razak Tuko Yusuf, who represented the INEC chairman, Professor Joash Amuto San, stated that the presentation was decision of the commission on the fresh delineation for immediate implementation. Specifically, the commission representative stated that a total of 20 registration areas have been created for all the 3 local government areas, that is Warri North, Warri South, and Warri Southwest, respectively. Furthermore, that the commission created 2 additional state constituencies for Warri North and Warri Southwest local government areas of Delta State to ensure more representation by the people of the Warri Federal Constituency. 5. The INEC National Commissioner stated further that in the light of the foregoing and considering the limited time constraint imposed by the INEC timetable for the conduct of the 2027 election, the commission would immediately direct political parties to conduct primaries for the nomination of candidates to contest the 2027 elections in the newly created state constituencies in Warri North and Warri Southwest local government area. However, the Ijaws And Uhorobo'S of Warri Federal Constituency are shocked that over 10 days after that announcement and presentation by INEC, is the implementation of the report has not yet started as promised by INEC. We note that the deadline for conduct and submission of lists of candidates of political parties to contest the 2027 general election is fast approaching. We have in good authority that INEC's failure to immediately implement the report of the fresh delineation as promised is as a result of external interference by the presidency and other organs, which ordered that the implementation be put on hold. Presidential interference in INEC statutory duties is a threat to the rule of law and democracy. We, the Ijaws And Uhorobo'S people of Warri, condemn in the strongest terms the interference of the presidency in the implementation of the Supreme Court ordered fresh delineation of Warri Federal Constituency of Delta State by INEC. The interference by the presidency is an attack on the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which the president took oath to adhere to. By Section 161 of the Constitution, INEC is independent in performance of its duties, and the presidency has no right whatsoever to direct or interfere with INEC's duties. The 1999 Constitution clearly states that INEC shall not be subject to the direction and control of the presidency or any other organ. Furthermore, by Section 287, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution, the judgment of the Supreme Court is final, and all organs and agencies of government have a constitutional duty to implement orders of the Supreme Court without delay or hesitation. In this case, the Supreme Court gave a final decision in Honorable Judge U. Timinimi and others versus INEC, and therefore the presidency has no constitutional powers to stop its implementation. We wish to alert the Nigerian people and the international community that the interference of the presidency in the implementation of the judgment of the Supreme Court is an attack on the rule of law and democracy in Warri's Federal Constituency and Delta State and Nigeria at large. According to President Bola Tinubu, while addressing representatives of the Inter-Party Advisory Council at Aso Rock Villa on the 12th day of March 2026, he said, and I quote, "Democracy is about the rule of law, and that the rule of law must prevail in any democracy," unquote. We wish to insist that the rule of law must prevail in this Warri Federal Constituency of Delta State. In addition to that, it should be noted that the chairman of INEC is a senior advocate of Nigeria, a practicing senior advocate of Nigeria, and he is supposed to be an upholder of the judgment of the Supreme Court. But we are losing faith in his chairmanship as INEC's chairman. As a professor of law, younger men were supposed to take a cue and learn from the present INEC chairman. If today, in the small Warri Federal Constituency, the INEC chairman can take calls and stop legal processes that have been ordered by the Supreme Court, then elections, general elections, and whichever election that is going to be conducted under the president's chairmanship is at risk. Democracy is actually at risk. And so the chairman should know that we will wait for 1 or 2 days and petition him to the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee to see if what he is doing is right. I then advise that as a professor of law, he should do the right thing and retire and keep his name intact. The threat to national security being alleged by the Office of the National Security Advisor, NSA, to stop the immediate implementation of the fresh delineation is only a subterfuge by the presidency to alter the final report of the delineation to favor the Shekiri ethnic group. If anybody or group is threatening the peace of Warri as a result of this fresh delineation, then because it is ordered by the highest court of law in the land, such a person should be handed over to the security agencies and not inviting people who are ready to obey and follow the law. In 1952, the Uhorobo'S and Ijaws were faced with a similar problem, where with political fiat, Awolowo, because of his political leaning, changed the title of Olu of Warri, Olu of Ishakiri, to Olu of Warri. Whatever is happening today is as a result of that nomenclature, Olu of Warri. And we dare say, since it is a creation of an illegal legislation by a man who wanted to favor his people, the government should use legislation to turn this illegal name around. I want to also say that delineation has nothing to do with who owns a land. Delineation is made, election is made for those that are occupying a particular space. If the Shekiris so believe that all this place is their land, no problem. Let them come and vote in the areas that are delineated. Then if they are representative enough to take the day, they take it. But I know, we know, and everybody in Nigeria knows that from here to Baramatu, to Okbijo, to everywhere, to Warri North, Ijaws are occupying this old space. No Ishakiri village in between. That is to show that we know the right thing, the government knows the right thing, INEC knows the right thing, but they may be afraid to do the right thing. This fear, INEC and the federal government should be more afraid for not doing the right thing, because we will pursue this our legal position to the last conclusion to ensure that our rights are not trampled on. In the present fresh delineation, enough concession has been made from 4 wards of the Shekiri people in the actual delineation. INEC and the presidency are moved 4 to 7 in Warri Southwest. They are moved 8 to 10 for the Shekiri people in Warri North. And we, Ijaws and Uhorobo, feel let's live amongst ourselves. So, even with the flaws, we are ready to accept. But if the Shekiris are not ready to do any election, according to this fresh delineation, then they should allow we, the Ijaws and Uhorobo'S, to do our primaries and elections, so that when it is time for them to do their own, they do their own. Because I also know that there were a time when we were toast here and there, the Ijaw people protested and we said, we are not going to do election for 8 years. And some part of Ijaws were left without election for 8 years. So, we don't know the reason why the Shekiri's own is different. In conclusion, we state that INEC, having concluded the delineation, must only conduct any subsequent electoral activity in Warri Federal Constituency based on the result of the final delineation presented without any alteration. The final report of the delineation submitted to stakeholders on the 20th day of May 2026 must not be altered in any form. It will be recalled that relocation of a local government headquarters from Ogbijo. In fact, the Shagri people are always fighting any good thing. When they were supposed to site Delta State headquarters somewhere around this Warri territory, really, the Warri people, the Shagri people fought against it and protested vehemently, used all tactics to push it away. This is what they also did when the local government was sited at Ogbijo, and in a military fiat, because of their long leg and their finances, they moved it from Ogbijo to Gidigbe. That is the genesis of the famous and infamous Warri crisis. Ijaws and Uhorobo'S do not want a repeat of such a thing. To be warned is to be harmed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, sir. Thank you very much. I, Chief Benekama. At this junction, we would like to hear from the Uhorobo Nation. No. Yeah, that is in person of Chief John from the Uhorobo'S of Warri.
Uhorobo'S. Ijaws.
Yeah.
I am pleased to be here. This conference is well meaningful for the peace of Warri Federal Constituency. And I do support the views read to you just now. The INEC chairman, who is from the Temple of Justice as a son, owes Nigeria and the Warri Federal Constituency a huge responsibility, which he has to implement. We should not be seen going forth and backward. The international communities are ashamed of what is going on in Warri Federal Constituency. Do we want to wait for Trump, President Trump of USA, to intervene on a Supreme Court judgment so that sanity can come back to Nigeria? That is a shame. And in light of this, I want to strongly appeal to both Mr. President and the INEC chairman and even the NSA to please do the needful. One, stop interfering with the duties of INEC. Allow INEC, who has given their word by bringing out the final report, to come on ground and complete their delineation. The heavens will not fall. The Uhorobo'S, the Shekris have suffered, the Uhorobo'S, the Ijaws have suffered the same fate in the past. And by the present exercise, no ethnic nationality is alienated. And so there is no basis for raising the tension in Warri Federal Constituency. We thank you, the media men. Please ensure that this press conference goes viral. And let the president know that he is toying with a keg of gunpowder. Those who are supposed to be angry are the ones maintaining peace, are the ones calling for peace. Please, let's continue to maintain the peace and go by the rule of law. Thank you.
Let's continue to maintain the peace as we go by the rule of law. Those that are supposed to be angry are the ones maintaining peace. Thank you very much, Chief. Very quickly, let's have the Alawi of Warri. I, Chief Dembo Dembufa Owekpodo.
Is on. Is on.
Yeah.
Is on.
Yeah.
Is on. Come here.
Come here.
Yepa mi emene.
Me amena.
Woo. Do robo wado.
Yeah.
Do robo wado.
Yeah.
Siagari.
Yeah.
Gentlemen of the press,
it is paramount to make some clarifications. It is important because at this material time is running out. Let government know that time is running out. We obtained this judgment in 2022. We were expected to have used this delineation in 2023. INEC pleaded. We listened to them. Not only that, the Shekris went further to institute actions in court. 6 to 7 actions in court. They lost all of them, yet they are not satisfied. I'm Alawe Dembo for Wikboda from Ogbujo. The Alawe of Warri. I stand here to speak on behalf of the Ijaws and precisely the Ogbujo people as aborigines of Warri. The Ogbujo people are aborigines. Warri is synonymous to Ogbujo, and Ogbujo is synonymous to Warri. Where we are seated today is a Ijaw enclave in Warri. I challenge anybody. Ijaw enclave in Warri South. I challenge anybody. Because by 1955, we had 4 wards in this area. Nobody challenged us. We had our representatives far back 1955 during the colonial era. For somebody to come today that Ogbujo people are not part of Warri South, it's an insult on the Ogbujo man. Insult on our ancestors. An insult on the founder of Warri, who is a Wayne, who accidentally today becomes one of the wards to be known in Warri South local government area. I don't think any Ogbujo man or his just son or daughter will accept that rubbish from anybody. We take exception to it. Be you the president, be you INEC, or be you the first lady, who is not from Warri, she's supposed property from Bolokos in Uwe. Coming to tell us that we are not Warri people because some disgruntled elements from the Shekri ethnic nationality and come to present their case to say that Ijaws are not there for Warri. We challenge that authority. If this rubbish were done in the past, we are not going to accept it any longer. No matter whose us it is, we are prepared to wage this war with anybody. Like I said earlier, time is fast running out. Mr. President should be aware. Recall what happened in 1997. This same Ogbujo local government area headquarters were relocated. We saw what happened to Nigeria. We knew our oil dropped from 2.something million barrels to 800 barrels. We know the effect it had on this nation. Election is fast coming. If Nigeria wants us to repeat what we used to do, we are not scared. We will repeat it again. If the Shekris are prepared, let them come to the field. We are ready for them. There's no time of saying. There's no time to pretend. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. What does the Shekris do?
Here. Come on here.
At this material time, I would like to ask a fundamental question. Let the Shekris tell us what they have brought to the development of Warri. Let them tell us. In the Midwest region, they were against the creation of Midwest region. It came to Pendle State, they were against it. It came to Delta State, they are against it. Creation of local governments, they have been against it. It is because of the Ijaws, that's why Warri North and Warri Southwest were created. The Shekris never requested for local government. I challenge them. Let them bring a memo that is submitted to the IMPLIMENT committee in 1996 that they requested for local government area. We asked for Warri Southwest, Tarabe local government. That was what we asked for in 1996 in the IMPLIMENT committee. I have the memo and the receipt of our submission. I challenge the Shekri people. Let them bring their report. Let us see what they have presented to Warri. The delineation of the Warri Federal Constituency today is again to the Uhorobo'S, Ijaws and Shekiris. Today we have 60 wards from 32. Is that not again? Is that not again?
It's again.
So what do they want? What does the Shekri people want? They should tell us. Now we have 6 constituencies, State House of Assembly constituencies, instead of 4. Is that also not again?
It's again.
Political and economic development, the Ijaws have brought so much to the table. Let them tell us their contribution. The first lady, Tinubu, is sitting in Abuja there. Instead of busy about taking care of her husband in the kitchen, interfering in Warri affairs.
Yeah.
Children are being kidnapped in Osun State. Children are kidnapped in northern Nigeria. As a mother, she has no feelings. Is that the woman who calls herself a mother? Is that what we call a mother?
No.
Is that what we call a mother?
No.
She should take care of her responsibility by taking care of her husband and her children. She has no place in the office of the presidency. There's no constitutional provision for her. We are not missing words at this point. Our blood is not bleeding. We are tired of all this nonsense from the Shekiris. No matter who is it, we are prepared for it. Let the nation know that we are prepared. Thank you very much. God bless all of you.
Thank you very much. The Alawi of Warri, I Chief Dembo Dembofa Owek. But very quickly, let's have Chief Reggie.
Akulebo. Iroboado.
Yeah.
Iroboado.
Yeah.
Isagwaro.
Yeah.
Gentlemen of the press, well, thank you very much for being around again. I think this time around, the whole world should know from this protest that we are tired of INEC delaying the implementation of his final reports presented to us on the 20th of May at Asaba. For decades and centuries of years, the Ijaws and Uhorobo'S have been under the political dominion of the Shekiris. Minorities cannot be majorities in a place where the Ijaws and the Uhorobo'S are majority of the Warri Federal Constituency. It is a taboo. It is an abomination for a minority to be a majority, wanting to dominate the political future of a people of two ethnic nationalities in the Warri Federal Constituency. Why is it that when it is the turn of the Ijaws and the Uhorobo, that the Shekiri man will never want to have mercy, will never want to have pity? If they claim to own Warri, having more additional federal constituency, is it not a plus? Go to Lagos. We all know that Lagos is for the Yorubas. But there are Igbo people who are councillors in some local government in Lagos because of their population. What have we done to these people? We accommodated enough of their nonsense valleys. We accommodated enough of their political threats and marginalization. We have tolerated enough of their political dominating powers on majorities. Enough is enough. The president and the wife should demonstrate themselves as fathers and mothers to the Nigerian states. If today, by the people of Nigeria, they occupy the highest seat in Aso Rock as presidents and first ladies, their interference in the INEC's work is not a good one. It will not augur well for him. Let us remember what happened recently in Iran. The stoppage, the blockades of the street owners. We all know how it has affected this world globally. The Ijaws and the Uhorobo'S have the power, have the abilities. The more they push us to the wall, it will come to a time we will stop the flow of oil in this country. What made the president of this country to be well known is the world is oil. Without oil, you have no name, you have no recognition, you have no bearing. Your dollar exchange is by the strength of the oil from the Niger Delta, and which the Uhorobo'S and the Ijaws produce in Delta states in the Warri Federal Constituency. If we cannot be given our own fair play, if INEC has gone to go for field exercise to correct this anomaly, and somebody is saying it should not be done, we have shifted a lot of ground for peace to reign.
We are not 100% satisfied with what is given to us with the second report. What would have been the best for us was the first, it would have been the first one. But because we are tolerating and accommodating people, we accepted the second one. And for now, they are saying no. It is only when they so know that government will listen to them. A lot has happened to us, as earlier mentioned by the earlier speakers. It was Awolowo who 1952, because of the affinity with his secretaries, that made the Olu of his secretary Olu of Warri. And that is a problem that we are managing. It's a problem that we are managing. So to avoid any crisis in Warri, we don't want crisis. We want to live peacefully. We want to exercise our own democratic civil rights to cast our votes, to be voted for and to vote. So in that wise, for over the years, it is Ichekiri that who have been in the House of Reps. When the Ijaws are suffering, we didn't make any move. Why is it that we fought for our own freedom? You go and fight for your own freedom. You cannot allow yourself on others when they are fighting for their own freedom. So enough is enough. The federal government should allow INEC to do its statutory duty. It is a function of INEC to delineate wards and units. They did the right thing by going to the field. What the Ichekiris have was a military field of allocation of wards. This one shouldn't be allocation of ward, but that by the reality that is on the field, which exercise they have done, which mapping they have done, what is stopping it? Anything less of what has been done by the field exercise is unacceptable to the Ijaws and the Uhorobo'S of the Warri Federal Constituency. It's still in time saves night. If any delay might not be too good. If any delay continues from this moment, it will make fire to burn. None of us is afraid anywhere. If you want to arrest us, come and arrest us. It is our own right. And we will fight for our own right without damning any camp, without fear or favor, without who is the us. It is our own time. And when it is your own time, you must judiciously make use of it. We are appealing to the federal government to remove your antics from the shoulders of INEC. Your interference is causing delay, and that delay will not help peace in the Warri Federal Constituency. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, thank you. The delay by INEC will not help the peace of the Warri Federal Constituency. Thank you very much, Chief David Reje. Very quickly, let's have from the Uhorobo'S of Warri, let's have Chief Femi Okumagba.
Ijaws. Ijaws. Ijaws kebemia. Robo-wado. Eyewa. Ziagwari. Gentlemen of the press. Gentlemen of the press, I want to align myself with the first speaker to the last speaker. It is a known fact that our Ichekiri brothers, they have to maintain peace in the Warri Federal Constituency. For the past, we have been hitting the bitter pill. Now God has made it our turn. I could remember vividly when the INEC came on board. Uhorobo have the representative going out to the field work with INEC. Likewise, our Ichekiri brothers, likewise, our Ijaws brothers. We all went to the field with INEC, and INEC went to Abuja with their report. And they came back to Asaba to give us some reports that if we are not satisfied, we should put it in writing. We did that to INEC. I don't think there's any reason for our brothers to be raising voice or making protest upon protest. The evil will not fall. If it did not favor you today, tomorrow is going to favor you. At this point, I want to appeal to them to maintain peace. Allow INEC to do their work. They've come out with their final result. And let it be. Tomorrow is another day. Please, we the Uhorobo'S, Ijaws and the Ichekiri should maintain peace and allow the process
to go smoothly. That is my words for them. Thank you very much.
The Ijaws and the Chekiris and of course the Uhorobo'S should maintain peace, and as Ijaws and the Uhorobo'S of the Warri Federal Constituency, we are for peace. But we will not agree to a situation where we will be taken for granted. Thank you so much, Chief Ukumagba. Very quickly, let's have Mr. Samson. Mr. Samson is representing the people of Bulama in Warri South local government area. Samson Zaria. Thank you.
Hey, so! Hey, so! Is someone coming meow? Tipa, another my name na Samson Zaria. I am from Bulama community. And first of all, I want to thank God for what God has done for us. It has been long with a suffer for one thing or the other. And I so thank God that God don't do it for we today. Today, God don't remember we. Out of the four words what we get before, they see bitter courage too. They take a come out before. Today, God don't do them. They don't come back again. I remember 1 year ago, I was the ward chairman at Eder Stand. I was the ward chairman in Eder Stand. Now today, I want to make us to understand. I am still telling the INEC that what they have done, the thing when they don't do for us, so make it stand the way it stand. They should let the sleeping dog lie. Make them not let people when not supposed to provoke or they provoke. At least Ijaw people don't try for this country. Wait. People when not even reach us say they get better than many states. But we only the small one we get, so they don't want to let us eat the dividends what we see get. I beg you, we want peace. We don't want trouble. May they give us, may they leave this world the way they don't already create down. May they live at the way it did, so that we self go enjoy what we don't enjoy. It's a people. The one I don't do, it don't do now. It don't do. The one I don't do, so it don't do. Then the oppressed person finish. When you oppress person, you don't go see the rest small. What do we do now, self? What do we do now, self? Accommodate to now for Warri because they're batting again. What we accommodate to now for Warri because batting again. I beg you, we don't want trouble. We want peace. The word, the one they don't create so. The Bulama word, a win word, Ogbijo Warri, Urban word. They should let it lie. Nobody should touch it. INEC, hear me very well. Except say you want to cause another crisis in Warri. We don't want crisis, oh. We don't want problem, oh. We need peace. Our president, you tried before, but not let your wife use you as a tools. Yeah. Don't let your wife use you as a tools.
It's okay, man. I
A leader is supposed to stand as a leader and do what it takes. Don't come here and make your wife to use you to make another thing. Go inside INEC, begin to spread the mind of INEC. I beg you, now election you dey come. We will say we see put and say we won't vote for you. Now with what you do so, are you telling us to vote for you? Are you telling us to vote for you? Mr. President, sir, I beg, bring your mind down. You are a good man. Do the good thing at the good time, at the right time. May God bless you in Jesus' name.
Let's have, thank you very much. Thank you. Let's have the Igbemba Youth President. Is going to be speaking on behalf of all the youth presidents. Barrister Matelemo, right? Thank you so much. The matter is serious.
Asa wana izombe kuremio. Asa wana izombe kuremio.
Asa wana izombe kuremio.
Asa wana izombe kuremio.
Asa wana izombe kuremio.
Ah, izo.
Iya.
Buri izo.
Iya.
Izo kibere mi.
Emio.
Ere ami amen. Say bere am. Uhorobo'S. 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 My name is Barrister Amatalamowe O.A. the President, Egbema Youth Council, EYC Worldwide. Today I stand before you as Today I stand before you representing the youths of the Warri Federal Constituency, covering both the Ijaws and Uhorobo'S. My message to INEC this morning will say thank you. We want to appreciate you for a job well done. You went into the creeks, the riverine communities, and conducted your exercise. And you came up with the final report. On the 20th of May 2026, you presented the final report to the leaders of the Warri Federal Constituency. You have done well, but you have failed to implement it. We are calling on INEC to do the needful. Do the needful in the sense that upload the report you presented to the leaders of the Warri Federal Constituency in your server, so that the good people of the Warri Federal Constituency will field their candidates. There are new wards, new constituency created. It is a good one to the entire Warri Federal Constituency. I see no reason why one or two persons will be aggrieved because of that. INEC, we want to feed our candidates. We want to feed people that will represent us. Please upload the report in the server. As youths in the kingdom, we will not allow a macro tribe to hold ransom of tribes that are more than them in 10,000 times. A tribe that, by history, because of their stubbornness, they were chased out from the Benin Kingdom. Today, the good people of Warri, the good people of Uhorobo'S, the good people of Ijaws, accommodated for a very long period of time. Today, you did nothing but to reduce them to what they are not supposed to be. Like what our elder says, we do not understand why a mini tribe will hold a tribe that is more than 20,000 persons. We have been tolerating this thing for a very long time. But today, the youths of Ijaws, the youths of Uhorobo'S in the Warri Federal Constituency, we will never take it anymore. Yes, we will not take it anymore. What we are saying in essence that, please, something happened in 1997. We do not want that to repeat itself again. And by any means, if it repeats itself, it will be worse than the way it was in before. As at that time, the minimum, the production of the crude oil was reduced to 100,000 barrels. But if it happens again, it will be zero. There will be nothing, there will be no gas flare in Niger Delta. The Ijaws will suffer, the Shekris will suffer, the Uhorobo'S will suffer, and the federal government will suffer it. This is a message to the federal government. Our leaders, our fathers have been keeping the youth calm for a very long time. But it has come to the bare minimum, we cannot be calm anymore. So please and please, INEC should implement the final report so that we can feed our candidates. Thank you.
Thank you. Eyes on. Eyes on. It's not coming near. Now let's have the political leader of the Ijaws of Warri South, Moses Favour. And I know that it's not going to take so much time. Thank you.
Ijaws.
Yeah.
Ijaws.
Yeah.
Ijaws come here.
Yeah.
Me la me amena.
Me amena.
Me ba me amena. Uhorobo'S.
Yeah.
Uhorobo'S.
Yeah.
You say warrior.
Yeah.
Gentlemen of the press, I want to align my statements with our leaders from the Uhorobo'S
and the young Haziks. They've spoken much, and they've given so much highlights, insights to what we are gathered here for today. INEC, they've done their work, and they did a good work. On the 20th of May, 2026, INEC called the stakeholders to Asaba and handed over the delineated results to the stakeholders. And they made it clear emphatically that in no distance time, stakeholders should field their candidates in these wards and that have created in the as wards and federal constituency. But till today, INEC has not done the needful. The reason why, we don't know. But we want to sound it clear that this delay is not helping us, because our First Lady, Mrs. Tinubu, is trying to use her husband to thwart the efforts of INEC, which we will not allow. As a people, the young people of Warri South, we have suffered a lot. We have been balkanized. Our wards and units have been balkanized into various units and wards that the Shekiris occupy, time immemorial. But for the fact that we came out and we protested, we went to court, and the law saw that of a truth, these people, they ought to be politically participating for elections. This result has come, but the Shekiri people will not allow us to breathe. Why can't they allow us to breathe? This is our land. It's our right to be politically empowered. It's our right to be politically participating in political affairs. But due to this marginalization from our First Lady, who she's using to talk to her husband to do what is not right, we will not take it anymore. We will not take it anymore, because this is our time that the court has been able to give us justice, and justice must prevail. Justice must prevail. It is our right to vote. We cannot be only be voting for all the time. We cannot be voting for people all the time. Let them go and check the records. All the units that the young people in Warri South are been embedded in right from time. We've been winning our units in election periods. Go and check the records. The records are there. But today, thank God to the result that INEC has given to us. We'll be given our own 3 wards. Yes, they want to allow these 3 wards to stay. Even though we requested for 5 wards, even the GRO ward is inclusive, but they deprived us of giving us a GRO ward. Eyes on. Eyes on.
Yeah.
So in this light, we are appealing to INEC to please upload your results so that we can be able to participate in our elections. Enough is enough. Ikbelfa.
Eyes on. It's okay, make me out.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, it is on this note that we want to end this press conference. Thank you and God bless you. Sorry, please. Sorry, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief, for your consideration. Yes, we still have about 2 persons. Let's have one of our mothers. The women have decided to delegate to send forth one of the mothers of the Warri Ijaws, Chief Christiana Sebribo. She will be speaking on behalf of the women. Chief Christiana Sebribo from the Ijaws Warri Kingdom.
My name is Chief Honorable Mrs. Christiana Sebribo. Why we gather here? We gather because of Tinubu's wife and the president. We Ijaws of Warri, we need peace. Now Tinubu's wife now they bring problem. INEC, Supreme Court don't give order to go round to all the kingdom Warri, 3 Warris that we have. Now, the INEC have already go to the 3 Warris and bring out their report. They work. Now, INEC want to bring out the result. Tinubu's wife is causing problem. Ijaws Uhorobo'S, we are together, working together. We are here unanimously to tell INEC to release the report. Ijaws implement the result. We are Warri South. We are Warri Southwest. We are Warri North. All of us, without Ijaws, no vote, because now we get population. Ijaws now get population. Without Uhorobo, no vote. Ishekiri don't they press us. They don't oppress us for long. We don't come outside. Now Supreme Court said they should go to the every kingdom to go and check, and they have already worked on it. Them will not belong to Warri. Now them now won't claim Warri. Now Ijaws now get Warri. Warri not now. Ijaws now get them. Uhorobo now get Warri. Ijaws now get Warri. Warri Southwest, Ijaws now get them. Now we be population. Now we be vote. Uhorobo now be vote. So we are telling Tinubu's wife, remove your hand. You are not a politician. Remove your hand. We Ijaws women said, remove your hand. If not, no vote, no election. No women.
No vote.
No women.
No vote.
Eyes on.
Here.
Eyes on.
Here.
It's a kabami. Ari amene. Uhorobo.
Yeah.
Uhorobo.
Yeah.
Uhorobo.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
Alabayi.
Aye. Thank you very much. Lastly, thank you very much. Wonderful women, wonderful women. Thank you so much. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen of the press. Let's have the Vice Chairman of Ijaws Warri Kingdom, Aaron Ebiye.
I want to, as the host, my name is Aaron Ebiye, the Vice Chairman of Ijaws Governing Council. I am the host. We are the shift host, and we want to emphasize on the fact that Ijaws is in Warri South, and there are leases to those effects, those land. If you go to Elderstown, we have lease covering that houses. If you go to Warri GRA, we have lease covering that aspect. If you go to Catholic Church, the mosque opposite of Ijaws Market, the mosque opposite. Okay. We have lease covering these houses. We have lease of 1906. We have lease of 1908. Warri GRA is under those lease. 1908 lease covers the Warri GRA. If you go to the mosque opposite of Ijaws Market, there is a lease covering that aspect. Ijaws is in Warri South. We have Elderstown. All the 3 local governments are under Ijaws. I want to also appreciate the leadership, the political leaders, the women, the youth, for their patience to enable us to have this gathering in a peaceful manner. So we want to say thank you to each and everyone being the host of this our community. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. You know, Chief, over to you.
I want to thank, on behalf of the traditional chiefs and leaders of Warri North, Warri Southwest, and Warri South, Ijaws and Ijaws and Uhorobo'S. We appreciate you for the orderly manner that you have conducted yourselves. In future, let's keep the peace. Ijaws.